Welcome to this presentation on radon-resistant new construction. My name is Robert Stevenson and I manage the Radon program here at Southface. We hope you'll find this information useful and that in the future you will build all your buildings using these details and best practices. The Radon program at Southface is a partnership with the Georgia Department of Community Affairs under the EPA State Radon Grant. Our main goals are to educate the public about radon and encourage home testing, as well as encouraging home builders to use radon-resistant methods in their construction. Radon is a radioactive gas. It comes from uranium and radium in soils, which can be found everywhere in the world. Uranium is present in rocks such as granite, shale, phosphate, and pitchblende. Uranium breaks down to radium, which then decays into radon. This gas can easily move up through the soil into the atmosphere. Natural deposits of uranium and radium, not man-made sources, produce most of the radon present in the air. Radon is in the soil and air everywhere in varying amounts. People cannot see, taste, feel, or smell radon. There's no way to sense the presence of radon. Radon levels are commonly expressed in picocuries per liter of air, where a picocurie is a measure of radioactivity. The national average of indoor radon levels in homes is about 1.3 picocuries per liter. Radon levels outdoors, where radon is diluted, average about 0.4 picocuries per liter. Radon in the soil can be drawn into a building and can accumulate to high levels. Every building or home has the potential for elevated levels of radon. All homes should be tested for radon, even those built with radon-resistant features. The EPA recommends taking action to reduce indoor radon levels when levels are above 4 picocuries per liter. When radon enters a home, it decays into radioactive particles that have a static charge, which attracts them to particles in the air. These particles can get trapped in your lungs when you breathe. As the radioactive particles break down further, they release bursts of energy which can damage the DNA in lung tissue. In some cases, if the lung tissue does not repair the DNA correctly, damage can lead to lung cancer. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. Radon is also classified as a Class A carcinogen. Other well-known Class A carcinogens that you might be more familiar with include arsenic, asbestos, and benzene. Radon is a significant risk. More people die from lung cancer caused by radon each year than from many other highly publicized causes of death. Radon is responsible for an estimated 21,000 deaths per year, 600 of those in Georgia. It is our hope that raising public awareness of the health issues of radon, we can decrease these numbers. Smokers are already at a higher risk for lung cancer, and radon increases these risks. Also note that radon risks for cancer are based on prolonged exposures. No exposure is safe, but you will never be in an environment with zero exposure to radon. The potential for elevated radon levels is not uniform throughout the United States. EPA and the U.S. Geological Survey have identified areas of the country with the greatest potential for high radon levels. This map is the result of indoor radon measurements, local geology, and population densities in a combined effort to rank radon potentials in all counties across the United States. The map indicates 3 radon potential zones, defined by the likelihood of finding radon measurements within certain ranges when a short-term closed-building radon test is performed. In Zone 1, you are likely to find homes with indoor radon levels above the 4.0 EPA action level. As you can see from the map, the metro Atlanta area here in Georgia is at a particularly high risk level for radon. Here you see the different ways in which radon can enter a home. For homes using well water, radon can be carried in with the water where it poses a danger if inhaled in vapor form. However, there is no danger from drinking this water. If your home is on a well, you may want to have that water tested for radon. Radon can also emanate from building materials such as granite countertops. These also pose a very low risk. The main method of radon entry is soil gas infiltration from radium-containing soils. This is the focus of radon-resistant new construction measures, which we will discuss throughout the rest of the presentation. In order for radon to enter the home, there must be a pressure differential to create a driving force. Sources of pressure differentials include positive soil pressures, the stack effect, where warm air rises within a home causing negative pressure at the building's foundation, and out-of-balance mechanical systems or larger exhaust fans which can create negative pressures within the home. We will now cover the simple steps you can take to reduce the exposure to radon for homeowners in your future projects. In order to build radon out, we want to isolate soil gases so that we can control their flow. An infiltration barrier separates the indoor space from the surrounding soils. We then want to create an alternate pathway for soil gas buildup so that it will bypass living spaces and flow into the atmosphere where it will not pose a danger to the building occupants. Here we see the features that we will implement for radon-resistant construction. First, a gas-permeable layer. This allows for soil gases to move freely under the foundation and find the alternate pathway that we will provide. Remember that ground gas will follow the path of least resistance. Next, plastic sheeting, a barrier between the living spaces and the surrounding soil. We will extend this barrier through caulking and sealing at penetrations in the slab and expansion joints and at other cracks. Then our alternate pathway, a vent pipe, provides a pathway for soil gases to move up to the atmosphere. This completes what we call a passive radon system. There are no moving parts. The air inside the home is warmer than the surrounding soils. Thus, a stack effect is created within the vent pipe, putting the soil below the home under negative pressure. The final step is to add a junction box, which will allow us to add an inline fan to the system if future radon testing shows elevated levels. We will now cover the specific details for radon-resistant construction for both a slab-on-grade and crawl-space foundation. RRNC stands for radon-resistant new construction. For a slab-on-grade foundation, we will begin with our gas-permeable layer. This consists of a 4-inch layer of loose, clean gravel laid below the foundation. Number 57 stone is an acceptable substrate. We want to ensure that all areas under the foundation can communicate with our soil vent pipe. For foundations with grade beams as shown here, 4-inch PVC sleeves can be inserted to ensure soil gas communication. Next, we will insert the riser for our radon vent. A 4-inch PVC TEE fitting can be used, or a more advanced product, this rough-in box shown from AirQES is a good option. Plastic sheeting provides an infiltration barrier between the inside of the home and the surrounding soil. A minimum 6 mil plastic sheeting should be placed over the gravel layer. Overlap this plastic a minimum of 12 inches. Extend the infiltration barrier by sealing openings from the soil to occupied space. Fill plumbing blockouts with quickset concrete. Polyurethane caulk can be used to seal cracks and expansion joints. The final step in our passive radon system is the radon vent pipe. Connect 4-inch diameter PVC to the riser and run it up through the home. Avoid adding bends to the vent pipe, and if they are necessary, use only 45-degree angles. Greater angles increase the static pressure within the vent pipe and necessitate system activation with an inline fan. Terminate the vent 12 inches above the roof and 10 feet away from any openings into occupied space or HVAC inlets. Be sure to label the vent so that it is not mistaken for sewer plumbing. Finally, provide power for a future fan if necessary. This is cost-effective even though a fan is not usually required. Locate this junction box in the attic adjacent to the radon vent pipe. Let's review the features of radon-resistant new construction for a slab-on-grade foundation. First, we have a gas-permeable layer, 4 inches of loose, clean gravel. Next, we insert a vent riser, usually a 4-inch T fitting made out of PVC. Then we have plastic sheeting providing an infiltration barrier between the home and the surrounding soil. This barrier is extended by sealing cracks and openings in the foundation, such as expansion joints and plumbing blockouts. The final step for a passive radon system is a radon vent, a 4-inch PVC pipe that extends up through the home above the roof line. Finally, we will add a junction box to activate the system in the future if necessary. We now move on to the steps for radon-resistant new construction within a crawl space. A vent riser and perforated pipe are placed directly on the ground within the crawl space. A 4-inch TEE fitting is used made out of PVC. Within that fitting, we insert 4-inch diameter corrugated and perforated pipe, a minimum of 5 feet in length. Plastic sheeting provides an infiltration barrier between the soil within the crawl space and the occupied area of the home. This also creates a moisture barrier, sealing the crawl space. A high-density cross-laminated 10 mil sheeting is recommended. Overlap the plastic sheeting 12 inches and seal with polyurethane or butyl acrylic caulk. Secure the plastic sheeting to walls and footings a minimum of 12 inches above the crawl space floor. If it is possible to extend the sheeting up above grade, this is highly recommended. Use caulk or mechanical fasteners for a more durable connection. Next, connect the radon vent pipe to the riser fitting and run it up through the home, following the requirements we previously outlined for slab-on-grade foundations. It is necessary to maintain the sealed infiltration barrier at the vent pipe penetration. A roof cap provides an easy way to seal this penetration, as shown in this detail. Finally, a junction box is installed for future system activation if necessary. We will now review the steps for radon-resistant new construction for a crawl space foundation. First, a vent riser and perforated pipe are placed directly on the ground within the crawl space. Next, we provide an infiltration barrier with lap plastic sheeting, which is sealed to both footings and the foundation wall. A radon vent is added, attached to the riser, and run up through the home. Finally, we add a junction box for future system activation. Even homes with radon-resistant features should be tested for radon. A short-term test kit is left in the home for a minimum of 3 days. It should be placed at breathing height on the lowest livable level of the home. Following this period, the test kit is sealed and mailed to a lab where it will be analyzed to determine the radon levels within the home. For homes with radon levels above the EPA action level of 4 picocuries per liter, passive radon systems should be activated, or in existing homes with no radon-resistant system, a new mitigation system should be installed. Activating a passive radon system is easy, as we have already installed a junction box to provide power for the fan. An inline fan is installed, which runs continuously, placing the area below the slab under constant suction. The methods we have discussed have many benefits in addition to reducing the health dangers from radon. Soil gas can contain other harmful components, such as biological contaminants and pesticides, and the foundation details outlined reduce problems with moisture and increase energy efficiency. Also, the cost of including radon-resistant features during construction is much less than that of retrofitting a mitigation system in the future. Thank you for taking the time today to learn about radon-resistant new construction and how you can include it in your future projects. Here we have a few resources that can help you in this endeavor. The EPA's Building Radon Out Guide provides detailed information on radon-resistant new construction for builders. The Citizen's Guide to Radon can be used by homeowners to learn more about the health dangers of radon and what they can do to combat those in their home. Finally, the Southface website is a great resource for radon information. It includes a frequently asked questions section and links to this and other information.